Hey everyone, Burtherman Gaming here with
Fubu87, Platineer Extraordinaire. How you guys doing?
yeah, we're here to talk about Warriors Abyss. Good old
Oh,
game.
yeah, great game. Came out of nowhere, Burley. It was
Yeah,
shadow dropped when they did the PlayStation State of Play, right? In
state of
February?
play. Yep. As they were just doing after the state of play, help promoting with Dynasty Warriors. This just came. You thought Dynasty Warriors Origin was the only game we were getting this year for Dynasty Warriors. Nope, we're getting a new game, and it's coming shadow drop like that, but not just a PlayStation. You're getting this on Steam. I played this on Steam. Fubu played this on PlayStation.
I played this on PlayStation, but it was like it was on Steam because most of the game actually I played it on my portal. So I went with my portal. I'm not gonna say where it is, just in case someone watches this. But
Fair enough.
I was in a place with internet connection, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Let me connect on the portal. So it's I'm gonna say it because you're playing on Steam, so you're
Mhm.
having the full experience, like everything's going well. I played it on the PlayStation 5 and then did it on the PS Portal. So even with that little lag feedback, the game still works quite well. So it was a very fun. And Burley, this is something
Mhm.
that got me as a pleasant surprise in a sense. The price, it's not expensive. I don't know. I know you have like your taxes in
Mhm.
Canada, but here in Portugal, it was like 25 euros, like the base. Then
Mhm.
there's the extra upgrades that you go on
And
top.
there's a five different editions because they want to sell with all the extra stuff you can buy and stuff. Yeah, like over here in Canada, I believe with taxes in the game cost me 33, and I bought it on Steam and played it on the Steam Deck. The nice
Hmm.
thing is that if you are a Steam user, this game does give the Steam trading cards. So if you do like me, when you do play the games on Steam, get those trading cards, just sell them right back to reduce the cost and add to your Steam wallet.
Nice. Actually, yeah, they don't do that on PlayStation. Obviously, they don't do that on PlayStation. But yeah, that's actually good. It does lower the price a little bit. And the thing is, I'm gonna talk about the price again because you look at a game like Hades, which is this
Mhm.
is heavily influenced in Hades. Like
Mhm.
there's other roguelikes, but I feel very Hades like from the storyline being like something demonic. And the art form, I do enjoy the art form in Hades a little bit better. I like the artistic
Mhm.
style that they use in Hades, but this one, and if you go and buy Hades, I think the first one was about 40 euros, and now Hades 2, which is not fully released yet, it's
Early
going like
access.
it's early access, like 70, like full price now, right? I might be misremembering that, but I the
Mhm.
idea that was I saw it on the Epic Store. So having a game like this, which is really fun, um, having it at 25 euros or 33 Canadian, it is actually a very pleasant surprise, and that's actually what made me like, oh, I'm going to buy this now because it's like 25 euros. It's not the biggest amount of money, and
Mhm.
what I got of fun out of this game compensated like a 70. I played this game more than I would have played a 70 euros game, for example, because the game actually is very addictive. It's very
Oh,
addictive, and it does
yeah.
something really interesting, which is I'm a big fan of Dynasty Warriors. So was you. I
Mhm.
don't know, Burley. Did you play Samurai Warriors?
I've played some Dynasty Warriors and some of the other spin-offs. I haven't played a lot of them, but I have played a few of them.
Okay, I just played a little bit of Samurai Warriors like a few years ago. My knowledge of those Samurai Warrior characters actually comes
Mhm.
from Kessen, so I do know Tokugawa, Yukimura Sanada, and all those guys
Mhm.
there. And I do like the gameplay. You see this; it's just a pure hack and slash, but there is a very big factor that they were very smart on doing this game,
Mhm.
which is the links. Like I was like when I saw this, like, how the hell am I going to link the Dynasty Warriors characters with the Samurai Warriors characters? Actually, how am I going to link the Dynasty Warrior characters because they have all different houses, and then
Mhm.
there's like different attributes. You have I think it's Zemfei. He can be part of Lubu's army because historically he was part of Lubu's army, but he's also part of the Way, which is Cao Cao's house. So we can go both those ways, and then you have an attribute which is called Brave General because he was a very brave general. But then you have a character which is Kenshin, which is my favorite character from the Samurai Warriors, and he has an attribute that every time he has a brave soldier or a brave general in this case on his formation, he gets an extra tier of power, like more 5%, and that allows you to, when you choose, let's say, a character from like you choose Kenshin, you don't ignore the characters from Dynasty Warriors. You're looking for characters from Dynasty Warriors so that your character also gets more powerful during that run. So you have a lot of ways to mix and match all these characters. And at the start, that was very hard for me because I didn't know the samurai characters. But what about you, Burley? What do you think about that? Because I think it was genius.
Oh, it was a genius mechanic, and like the game, it really makes it every run you're playing of this different. And as you see, like with the footage we've got here that I've recorded, is when you do after you've done a round, you then have your three options of what are you picking, and they'll tell you you have warriors. You could pick for warriors of this kind of just regular wisdom, different heroes and stuff like that, or do you want to take a health upgrade, get more blood for the blood tiers and stuff like that. So you're constantly you're having to figure out what works best for you and try and experiment and going down these different routes. And I love that it's not, you have your basic, your heavy attack, but as you're getting more and more of these heroes, you can trigger them and they'll come out on the battlefield, do whatever kind of attack depending on the hero. Have like some that if they're an electric elemental, they'll come down. I've had them shoot a bunch of lightning on the field and stuff like that. So, and it's really cool. You've also got to figure out with the ones you're bringing in, okay, I've got this stuff, but if I get one of this, is this going to balance into that? And you can buy the different things to put your formations so you can get different little bonuses, kind of like if you've played Final Fantasy X too, the dress gear spread.
Yes,
where you could just put stuff and get different bonuses here and there. So it really adds to the strategic thing. So it's not just about, oh, I need to mash the attack, but mash heavy and that.
Exactly.
No,
there's a lot behind. It does look like a hack and slash, but like you were saying, the abilities, the wisdom, the fire, speed, because that's something. I'm the type of guy that when I start the game, I don't go like, oh, I have to read everything. No, I just smash through it. I scream, and at the end, I win. That's it. And I was tripping out because I was like, why the hell I can't use the 6 summons? It's only 4. And then out of nowhere, I can use 6. I was tripping. And then that's when I realized, again, very early in the first like 3-4 hours of the game. Then I realized, oh, wait, you have this skill attribute. You have to collect those skill attributes to unlock the other 2 summons. And that, I was like, it's not only hack and slash, there's a tactical element behind. If you have, like, for example, I like Kenshin. Like I said, it's my favorite. He is called the God of War. So when you hear God of War, you think, oh, the guy's strong. Exactly, the guy's strong. Zeus, I come for my revenge. I think it's Adam. But hey, that's. But yeah, there's the God of War. They call him the God of War. He's from the Samurai series, and he's strong. He's super strong. Like he uses Muzu attack, and there's like a double behind him, and you do double damage. But because he's like very strong, he's very weak when it comes to speed. He's slow. He's not good. What you're doing here, dodging the attacks, he sucks at that. So when you start the game with that character, you have to focus a lot on getting speed attributes. It's speed and skill, so that you can, because this first boss, it's very telegraphed. You know what's going on. Everything is good. But as you keep facing like the Griffin, which is the second boss, it's
Oh yeah.
actually easy. But then that third boss, which is like the Phantom, he has crazy fast attacks and very AOE, and you need to dodge that one a lot. Then you go to that last warrior, because I noticed that it changes the name. It goes from veteran warrior to the brave warrior, and that changes the difficulty. And he's also very, very fast. But again, if you focus only on speed to dodge, you will take a lot of minutes to do a boss battle because you also need the attack. So you need to balance. That's why when you pick your team and your stratagem, you need to get the one that is going to be more effective for the character that you have.
Mhm.
So if you have, there's one, again, I'm not going to say all the names because there's so many, but there's a stratagem that gives you more 10% damage for every fire character that you have. But then there's another one that gives
Mhm.
the same, but for ice characters. So you have to know what you have on your team so that you can do that. And that's one thing that the game handhelds you in a sense, which is basically just say, Emna, you pick the team. But sometimes
Mhm.
they don't pick the team because there's a character which the special attack is not attack, it's
Mhm.
giving you a shield. But because I invest
Mhm.
a lot on speed stats, I don't want the shield. I just want someone attacking because I'm just zooming around and running away from the characters. So there
Oh,
is a very strong strategic element in this game, and me and you, Burley, we eat that up. We love that type of game,
mhm.
man.
Oh yeah, no, it adds so much, and it's just a thing. Like that's the thing. Depending on what you pick, like the first boss, I feel is just a little too much on the health they do for this,
Hmm.
especially because every time it's with this with every boss, you got to drain the shield gain, then you can damage them. You can only damage them so much, and then that shield gauge comes back. But you
Yes.
got to remember to use like I will always for bosses. What I'll do as soon as their shield gauge is drained, then
Yeah.
do my Muso attack, which summons all your different heroes that
Yeah.
you've done, and
Yes.
just
Exactly.
have them help me not only hit the boss, but usually when that happens, the boss summons in all the minions so to help me
Yes.
wipe
Exactly.
the minions because that's the thing. You may damage the boss in the first phase and get some damage going, but
Yeah.
now you've got minions and it's a blessing and a curse. You want to start killing the minions to level not only just you level yourself up so you're getting stronger, but also refill that Muso gauge for you. And so
Exactly.
it can easily you will can easily in this game get overwhelmed with
Hmm.
all the different attacks going. So you have to
Yeah.
figure out a strategy of stuff that
Yeah.
works. So you're going to have a lot of unsuccessful runs. It's like Hades that way and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
other roguelike games in this nature, you're going to have them,
Hmm.
but you just have to keep playing it. It's more about trying different characters, trying different builds, trying different things, and finding what works for your play style and who you're picking.
Yeah. Actually, now that you're saying that you get overwhelmed, I think this should be also a warning because if you have like epilepsy, this is not the best game for you to play.
Oh
Because
yeah.
when do you activate the stratagem, everything just starts to flare, and that actually now
Mhm.
that you mentioned that, it's a very big warning. But yeah, and like you say, and there's an element that you don't usually see, and
Mhm.
at least I haven't noticed in other roguelikes, but that's the beauty of the roguelike. It can be anything. You can adapt it to anything. A game can be adapted
Mhm.
to a roguelike. I'm going to give you an example. One of my favorite games playing since growing, it was Transport Tycoon. And basically
Mhm.
that's a roguelike because every time you start a new game, it's a different
Mhm.
map, it's a different city, it's a different mountain range. Everything is different. So you can adapt the roguelike to everything. And this game does something that when you
Mhm.
start the game, to make the game fresh, and this is my experience, I think you already crossed, but you can get weapons, like you can get the
Yeah.
ultimate weapon for the character, and that changes the gameplay a lot. That actually changes the gameplay a lot because not only that you're getting the strategy on, and I'm going to give you the example for Tokugawa. I started playing
Mhm.
with Tokugawa, and I hated playing with Tokugawa at the start But again, I didn't adapt because, like you said, very well, different types of characters, different types of plays. It's gonna adapt to you. Like I said, I use Kenshin. He's like a brawler. He's super strong. But then you have Tokugawa, which is he's more of a nimble guy. He doesn't have a much powerful attacks. But that's where it changes, because when you find the ultimate weapon, find or buy, you can do both. But I actually found it when I opened the chest and I got the weapon.
Nice.
I read that, yeah, it was so good, man. I was like, I didn't knew at the start you could buy the weapons, and I was like, every time I went to a chest and got a weapon, I would get told giddy, and I had to see what the weapon did. And then Tokugawa has one, which again changes the game a lot, which is for every 1,000 tears of blood that you have, your attack does 5% more damage with the maximum of 100%. So that means in that run, if you want to take advantage of that ability, and first of all, you need to find the character, now that I'm blanking his name, but he has a special ability that every time you kill a character with a Mizu attack, you get more tears of blood. So you need that to upgrade your attack power. And then here, exactly, this is perfect. When you go to the Tears of Cauldron, you want to ignore the Tears of Cauldron, because if you go to a Tear of Cauldron and you buy stuff like you're going to do right now, you see, this wasn't even planned, man. This is perfect. Every time you go to a Cauldron, if you buy, like, let's say this one for 1,000, you're going to lose 5% of the attack. And then when you go back to the fight, it becomes really longer, and the game then starts. Because I noticed the longer you keep up the battle, especially with the boss, the harder the battle gets, because again, you get very, very overwhelmed. And that's the best thing I can tell you is try to finish battles as fast as you can. Don't be afraid to use your stratagem attack. Don't be afraid to use your Muzo attacks, because you're going to recover. The only time you shouldn't use that is before you go to when you're in phase 7. Try to save that so you can use it on the boss. But that's the way I've been playing it. What about you, Burley? Are you doing the same thing, or are you doing something completely different from me?
Similar. I'm like, I've been just every time I look at the past when I've been playing, I hit the Y button in my case, because I've been playing it on Steam. I see and get a value of looking at what the different heroes that I can get, and looking and going back, looking at my stuff, thinking and trying to strategize as best I can, and then going and looking, because you also get those, and then you'll get the health upgrades, and doing the kind of, I want the more health, but the hero that I can get here can give me this ability, which helps trigger with this. That gives me this combo. So I like it's like playing pretty much opening an Excel spreadsheet or something, and just and typing in the values and figuring out here.
I know. It's sometimes it can be overwhelming if you think too much on what you want to do. For example, I'm going to give you the example from Lubu. No, sorry, not Lubu. Guan Yu. I'm going to give you the example of Guan Yu. One of the things that I focused, and I realized I was doing this later, but every time I played with Guan Yu, which is also one of my favorite characters from the Dynasty Warriors, is I'm looking for the bond with his brothers, which is Zhang Fei and Liu Bei, because when you get all three of them, and this is what the game does greatly, that I do get it more from the Dynasty Warriors side than the Samurai Warriors side. They give you small hints of what happens in the storylines of the Dynasty Warriors, because when you team up on the same team, you have Liu Bei, Zhang Fei, and Guan Yu, you will get bond at the peach tree, and that's historically, which is something according to the books. I don't know if it's 100% real, but according to the books, that's where they became sworn brothers. Was below a peach tree. They said that they were going to be peace to the country, which didn't work out. But I know that I played a lot of Dynasty Warriors, so I know all these things, man.
I can tell.
So that's the canon. Let's say the canon of the game. It's that they were unknowns. They team up to save a village, and then they became very good friends. And they sworn an oath under a peach tree, which is the name of the link, which it's under the peach tree. You'll see it when you're playing, and that's when they became sworn brothers to try to bring peace to the country. And it gives a lot of reference. Then you have one of the characters from I think it's the fire ones. Forgetting the name now, but she was married. She had the marriage of convenience with Liu Bei. So because she's from a different house, but if you get her in your team and you have Liu Bei in your team, you're gonna unlock a new bonus because historically or in the canon of the game they are married. So you get a different bonus, and I'm telling you, the people that made this game know their lore of the game. Because again, I'm not 100% sure if it's historically accurate. I know that the people existed, but I'm pretty sure they weren't killing 1,000 people a
I'm
day.
sure, yeah. It's fictionalized to make the story they want. But it is nice to see that they are respecting the lore within the other games in the game universe.
Exactly.
Because this could have easily been a just thrown out here a quick cash grab. Especially when you go to buy the game, there's like 5 different editions to give you the extra gems and blood fragments and stuff like that. You first see that and you're like, oh, I'm just saying, if you are looking to play the game, just buy the general one. You do not need to buy these other editions. Are just to, I'm sure that's the company's decision to be like, hey, if we can get these extra sales, get them.
Exactly. Because look, when it comes to the game itself, they have the art style. Let's go with the art style. They are using Dynasty Warriors 8 elements, like the costumes and all of that. Because I didn't like Dynasty Warriors 9 a lot. I loved 8. I played 8 a lot. And they're using the designs. But you can, and this is something that I have to applaud, which is they already gave you free DLC. Because there's the House of Jin, which is like one of the later ones, and they gave like 5 characters for you to play for free. Again, but if you want to change clothes on your characters, because you know how DLCs are, that you want to customize the way that you wear your characters' dresses and stuff like that, you can buy them. There's bundles for that. There's bundles for the flames for you to unlock new characters. But I'm in the same mindset as you, early, because the game is so fun to play. If it was a chore, you want everything, and the game was a chore to play, okay, you can cut some corners. But because the game is so fun to play, you just want to play it. And when you notice, you'll have all the karma embers that you want. You'll have all the characters. You'll have all the stratagems. You're gonna have everything on the Hall of Bonded Souls. You're gonna have everything there, and then you'll have extra. And that's what happened to me, because I didn't knew how you get the weapons. I thought it was pure RNG. And when I went on Google, like, how to find weapons quicker, and they said, oh, you can buy the weapons. And because I've been playing the game so much, I was like, oh my god, I just bought like 6 or 7 weapons at 50k each, because I was full of karma embers, because I was playing the game, like, even after completing the game, after platinum the game, because it's a very easy platinum, Burley. If you ever get this game on PlayStation and you want an easy plat, this is the game to get, because they could have made this much, much harder than it is. And it's very simple. Just finish the game with defeat Goma, which is the bad guy, with 20 different heroes. And that actually becomes very easy, because when you unlock all the characters, which is a gold trophy, but when you, as you progress unlocking characters, like you're showing up now, you get stronger, because you unlock this character, you'll get more 5% health. You unlock that character, you'll have 10% attack. And this adds up. And then when you play the easy mode, you can defeat Goma with 20 different characters quite easy. So I know you're a plathead like me, and I
Oh,
know
yeah.
if you have the chance, you're gonna go for it, right?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm working my way towards it on Steam. Get all the achievements.
Yeah.
This is a game. It will take. It just takes a bit of time. But even if you have unsuccessful runs where you don't win, you're still gaining the stuff, so you can unlock and slowly get better and better. It's just that method. Like you're gonna get some runs where you get the good RNG and get the heroes that you need and the stuff you need. Some you
Yeah.
don't. But if you've been playing roguelikes like these, especially with like we've had a lot of great roguelikes, and it's nice to see that you're getting a game with a lot of content at a budget price, and like this thing runs great on the Steam Deck.
Hmm.
You can get a
Yeah.
couple hours on it. I didn't have like really any stuttering or anything. It looks fine
Awesome.
on the Steam Deck screen. It was recorded on the Steam Deck for the footage here.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. And great footage. You can see it on the
mhm,
gameplay. There's nothing. I'm
mhm,
looking at this. If you didn't tell
mhm.
me it was on Steam, and I was like, oh, he's probably playing this on PlayStation because the game is running. Now I got my question for you.
Yeah.
How did you play that on Steam Deck? Was it at home? Was it somewhere else? How did it go?
I
Because yeah.
I played it two different ways. I've played quite a bit in handheld mode. I would just
Hmm.
sit on the couch,
Hmm.
sit, play on the Steam Deck. In the case of
Okay.
this, I threw it into my dock, the Steam Deck dock,
Yeah. Yeah.
and plugged it into the capture card and paired it
Nice.
up with my 8-bit Do controller. Controller
And it
worked fine. I
perfect.
didn't have to set nothing. Good to go.
Nice, because because the game isn't that long. This is the virtue
Mhm.
of playing on the Steam Deck because you can play it offline. You don't need to have a online connection like I do on my to play Portal.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really think this is a great game. Like if you have to go to work and you go on,
Mhm.
because we already had this conversation. I don't have that problem. I just get in the car 10 minutes. I'm at work. But
Yeah.
for those people that have a lot of time to like on buses, trains, stuff
Mhm.
like that,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think on the Steam Deck it's actually perfect because like if you sit half an hour on your bus and you don't talk to anyone, which doesn't happen here in Madeira. We're very communicative here, so we sit in the
Mhm.
bus and we start talking with the person on the side. But for those people that don't like to talk, I think if you go on the bus to work and come back from work and it's like let's say half an hour, and I'm being generous, you can
Yeah.
do a run with the character quite easy. You just start from the start, and when you finish like in half an hour, if maybe you'll be by the end, maybe you'll finish again. Depends a lot on RNG because
Mhm.
sometimes that influences the game a lot.
Sure.
So on I think this game is perfect to play on the Steam Deck because of that aspect. You can play outside. It's a quick game. It's not the story.
Yeah.
It's not heavy. I don't consider it to be a heavy story. It's simple. You're helping this guy preventing that Goma takes over hell. That's easy. And you just kill people
Mhm.
until you get to the end. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
is a very fun game to play when you're outside the house, when you're on transit to work or coming back from work. So
I agree. Like this, if I was still doing a long bus commute kind of thing because I work from home,
mhm.
I would throw my Steam Deck in my bag and play and play and get some rounds in before going to work or coming home from work. I definitely do it. Like
Yeah, yes, yeah, it is a good game to do that. So that's me. I rambled a lot
mhm.
about this.
It's all
Uh,
good. You're
this
passionate. This is
oh,
why this is why I
it,
wanted to do this with you because I knew
the
you and I were talking about the game in Discord DMs. As like I knew you were gonna be you helped sell me into the game. I'm glad you did. And
no,
it's like,
no,
yeah, let's just sit here one of these days. We need to sit and talk. And we're like, oh, we'll
no.
just sit, talk, bring ourselves here in StreamYard and just record our thoughts. So
No, I'm telling you, it's I wish games were a bit more like this because I do like the hype, like what we're doing with GTA. People are doing with GTA 6. There's a lot of hype,
Mhm.
but I do enjoy when the game like this comes out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, no.
And I don't know if this would translate well, Burley. I'm afraid because the
Mhm,
way that you play the game helps a lot for the success of the game and also for the
mhm.
price of the game.
Yeah.
But this game with Dynasty Warriors Origins graphics, PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 6 graphics, I think it would be crazy good, man. Like it would have to be more heavy in terms of story, in terms of enemy diversity, in terms of weapons, more characters, stuff like
Yeah.
that. They should be. They need to improve a lot if they want to make this a AA or a AAA game. But
Yeah.
I would love to play this game with Dynasty Warriors Origins graphics. I think I would eat it up, but that's me. I love this type of game.
Well,
Or at least, sorry, Burley, or at least if they could add this like not a paid DLC, I'm against that, but as a DLC, like what they did with The Last of Us 2 Remastered. When they released the remaster, they released a roguelike mode. They could add this to Dynasty Warriors Origins or something like that.
yeah, I think that's wishful thinking that's going to happen to Origin. But yeah, no, I would love to see like a bigger budgeted, more modern style, higher level of graphics. I agree, but yeah, no, this game I've enjoyed. I can't wait to see what more content we'll get with it throughout the year, because there are supposed to be quite a few content drops throughout the year, and then I'm hoping award time this game gets its nominations at least.
It was a
And
bit
it's,
early in the year.
yeah, well, but you never know. Like we've had stuff come in early in the year that have won awards.
True.
That. Like this game's got a lot in here, and if you're into this game, I cannot. Like, you don't need to be a Dynasty Warriors fan. You can just jump in and play this. If you like roguelikes, you like
Early.
Hades, you can jump into this game and pick it up.
I know how to make this game in the next few months. I know how they would make this game. Everyone talks about this game because again, Warriors type gameplay, right? Which is the other big franchise that has a Warriors type gameplay. Come on.
Well, they've done so many skins for the Warriors.
Hyrule's Warriors. Bring all the Zelda characters to this game.
Yeah, I think I think they Nintendo would be like, no, because Nintendo would be like, we want 80% of the revenue on this.
Maybe on the DLC, maybe they would allow that, but it's something because the guys, it's Bandai Namco that's behind this, right? They usually are behind the games, right? So they're Japanese, right? I'm not mistaken. They're Japanese.
Yeah, they're Japanese.
They have a good relationship with Nintendo. Maybe that would be something interesting. Again, they could do. It wouldn't make any sense, but they also had like a Gundam. Yeah, that's how you say Gundam Warriors. They had that as well. I can see them doing a lot of things with this game and DLC type of stuff. It's not the same type of game, but you have Balatro. You see Balatro doing a lot of DLCs with other companies that you're like, this doesn't translate. You have Dave the Diver. They're gonna release. They released the Godzilla DLC, which I had no idea that was possible. They released the Godzilla DLC. They had the DLC, the collaboration. Let's select this collaboration. That's the name. The collaboration with Godzilla. They had the collaboration with Dredge. And now they're going to have a collaboration with Yakuza. I think they announced it when it was on February. But they're going to have... so those are crossovers that we weren't expecting in that type of indie game. This is not properly an indie, but I think for them, so people keep talking about them until reward season, I think they need to make these type of crazy collaborations where they bring characters out of nowhere.
Well, we shall see, and we'd love to hear from everyone on this. What did you think of of this game? Is it for you? Not for you? Have you tried it? Love to hear from you all. I want to thank Fubu so much for coming in here, and
thank you so much for having me here. Love
no problem
doing stuff with you, man.
Oh, it's always a fun time with you. Like when you brought this up, I was like, okay, yeah, we're doing this. There wasn't even a question. It was just, okay, give me more time because you put like 40 hours into this. I put 4.
True. I put so many hours, man. So many hours in this game.
Thank you all so much, and see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.